So the Meituan is the largest delivery platform in China, which is the largest market share. It is understood that there are three main contracts were signed by the Meituan takeaway workers and the third-party labor dispatch agencies, namely the labor agreements, labor contracts, and contracts. Well, during the years of the rapid growth in China's online food delivery industry, the Meituan, the most traded company, has been in the news for not paying the social security to its rider and for using outsourcing companies to sign these offers to save a lot of expenses. And the worst is that the Meituan privately allows the rider to set up the mini companies and then sign the cooperative contracts with the riders instead of the labor contracts. Well, there are huge difference between the three contracts, among which with the labor contract is relatively formal, and the third parties need to pay the social security for the rider. So if it's a labor agreement, then the third party does not need to pay for the riders the social security. If it's a contract, the rider is a self-employed person who takes all the risks he or she may face. Well, in the first half to the 2017, there were 76 road traffic accidents involving the food delivery industry, of which Meituan accounted for 26%, and in August 2017, the traffic police interviewed the Meituan and other 8 food delivery companies, asking them to strengthen the traffic safety management and for their employees, especially for the riders, the food delivery drivers. And in October 2021, the State Administration for Market Regulations imposed administrative punishments on Meituan for monopolizing the online catering and delivery platform service market in China, and ordered Meituan to stop its illegal activities. Meituan now employs more and more outsourcing employees, most of whom are food delivery riders. Reasons for the outsourcing: most riders are not assuring safety, and page misleading consumer issues. So it's outsourced to a third-party enterprise, and then the third-party enterprise acts as a contractor to establish the labor relations with the employees who provide the business services for Meituan. We need to immediately clean up and emulate regulations on fees and fines that do not comply with the higher laws or are unreasonable, so as to create a favorable environment for flexible employment. We will carry out a pilot project to ensure occupational injury protection for people who have the flexible employment on platforms, and properly define the responsibility of enterprises on platforms. Once occurrences of the employment injury and the corresponding occupational injury protection can play a role. Yes, right. And the carry-out of the platform flexible occupational injury protection pilot, because of the special position of takeaway riders, both day and night, takeaway riders. So you can pilot individual riders to increase the safety protection rights and interests. Meituan food delivery platform also takes relative responsibility. And this kind of labor outsourcing of Meituan involves a large number of the people who are the grassroots workers, and the labor relationship between the Meituan delivery worker and the Meituan company is not a labor contract and without paying social security. So it's hard to really protect your rights. And the benefit of the outsourcing is that in order to reduce costs and avoid risks, the company can only deduct 3 yuan per day from the commercial insurance that will grant the 600,000 yuan death insurance for the non-official employees. And there is no labor security in addition. Takeaway riders are a huge group, and the labor cost saved by the employees is still very high. For the workers who choose outsourcing means flexibility. They can take up work at any time and leave at any time, and they do not need to write resignations applications 1 month in advance, and their short-term incomes is higher. We will launch a pilot program to protect the worker with flexible employment on the platform from the occupational injury and more complete social security policies. And the system will be introduced for the delivery workers and flexible workers to ensure that the reasonable rights and interests of workers are not infringed into the current era of social responsibilities. Assume their responsibility that the employees have a sense of belonging, that the enterprise has a sense of mission to create a better life.